Welcome to True Unseen Crime, where the unseen becomes undeniable. If you're ready for a chilling journey into the unknown, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Because here, every shadow has a story, and some should never be told. The air was heavy, thick with a darkness that seemed to crawl beneath the skin. Claire stood at the edge of the ruins, the gateway pulsing like a heartbeat from another world. Her fingers trembled as she held the journal, Ethan's last clue, close to her chest. But Ethan was gone. The entity had taken him, just as it had taken the others. And now, Claire was alone. Or so she thought. A rustling behind her sent ice through her veins. She spun around, gun raised. But what emerged from the shadows wasn't the entity. It was a team. Black tactical suits, cold eyes, and weapons far more advanced than hers. At their head stood a woman, stern, unyielding. "Agent Harper," the woman said. "Paranormal Containment Division. You're in over your head, Ms. Monroe." Claire's breath caught. Reinforcements. But how had they known? "We've been tracking the silent witness for years," Harper continued, stepping closer. "And you're the key." The team secured the perimeter, setting up barriers Claire didn't understand, symbols that burned when touched. But Harper's focus remained locked on her. "Why am I the key?" Claire demanded. Harper's lips pressed into a thin line. "Because Daniel chose you." A chill settled deep into Claire's bones. "What does that mean?" Harper hesitated. Daniel wasn't an accident. He was marked since birth, born to become the next gatekeeper. But when he fell in love with you, he rebelled. Claire's heart pounded. All the pieces began to click together. "He fought the entity," Harper continued, "but now it's using him to open something worse. And if we don't stop it, nothing will." The ground trembled beneath their feet. The gateway flared, shadows spilling out like black smoke. And then, Daniel's voice. "Claire." But it wasn't just a plea. It was a lure. Harper gripped Claire's arm. "Don't listen to it. If you cross the threshold, there's no coming back." But Claire's resolve hardened. "I'm not leaving him behind." Before Harper could stop her, Claire stepped through the gateway. The air shifted. Cold. Suffocating. She was inside. A black void stretched endlessly, but in the distance, a faint light glowed. She moved toward it, her pulse hammering in her ears. And there he was, Daniel, bound in chains of shadow, his face pale and hollow, but still him. "Claire, why did you come?" His voice trembled. "To bring you home," she whispered, tears burning her eyes. He shook his head. "It won't let me go. Not without a price." Behind him, something stirred. A shape, massive, ancient, and full of hunger. The true master behind the silent witness. And it was waking. Outside the gateway, Harper's team fought to hold the line as shadow creatures clawed their way into reality. "Shut it down," Harper shouted. "If she doesn't come back, we bury it." But Claire wasn't leaving. Not without him. "You can fight it, Daniel," she said, her voice fierce. "You're stronger than it." His hands trembled, but he reached for her. "I can't hold it much longer." And that's when she realized the truth. The only way to destroy the entity was to destroy the gatekeeper. If she wanted to save the world, she had to let Daniel go. A tear slid down her cheek as she pressed her forehead to his. "I'm sorry," she whispered. "I love you." Before he could protest, she drove the knife, blessed and burning, into his heart. His scream echoed through the void as the chain shattered. The entity shrieked in fury as light erupted from Daniel's body, tearing through the darkness. The gateway trembled, collapsing in on itself. And Claire felt herself falling. When she opened her eyes, she was back. The ruins were quiet, no shadows, no voices. Just the wind and the fading warmth of his touch. Harper knelt beside her. "It's over," she said softly. "You did it." But Claire didn't feel victorious. All she felt was loss. As the team packed up their equipment, Claire turned back for one last look. A shadow moved in the distance. Daniel's shadow. And she knew some doors could never be fully closed. Thanks for joining us on this chilling journey. If you dare to uncover more untold horrors, Hit that like button, subscribe, and stay tuned, because the darkness is never truly gone, and neither are we. Until next time, stay vigilant. You never know what watches in the shadows.